What's up, Grill Masters? Sean here from Smoke and Barbecue. In this episode, we are going to give you a brief, to-the-point video on how to smoke pork ribs. We're actually using the Swift brand ribs, and we're going to be smoking them on our Weber grill. So, as I said, it's going to be a quick, to-the-point, basic video of how we prefer to smoke our ribs. First, I'm just going to trim up the ribs, put a bit of a rub on them. I prefer taking off the silver side, the skin, some of the cartilage, some of the fatty pieces. Some folks like it. I prefer to take it off. The smoke just penetrates better into the meat and just more tastier, and you're not left with chewing all those little bits of meat and cartilage. So stay tuned, have a watch, see. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. And yeah, let's go ahead and trim our meat, and we'll get back to you in a bit. Sweet. Alrighty guys, so we have trimmed up our pork ribs. As you can see, presentation is everything. So we've cleaned up around the sides, we've taken off extra cartilage, we've taken off some fatty bits, we've put on a nice rub, and we've let it sit for a bit. It just looks nice, presentable, nice flow through the smoke going around the pieces of meat. And we have our Weber on the grill, on the go, should I say. We've got the chimney starters going there. And then today we're actually going to be using some of our very own pieces of smoked cherry wood. Our cherry wood can be found on our website, in the link in the description. Yeah, so we're just going to let that get going. And then I'm going to show you the idea that we prefer to use. Look, there's various ways, there's many ways, but this is the idea that we found quite effective. We used to use the 3-to-1 method, but I prefer the method I'm about to show you guys now. Sweet. Alrighty, so our coals have ignited. We've put them in our side grates. Now the idea behind this is you put a couple of blocks that are ignited on each side and a couple of charcoal blocks that still need to ignite. And the idea here is when we put in our pieces of wood, it's going to slowly ignite the rest of the charcoal here. But before we do that, we're going to close back up. We're going to try and get to a temperature of 275 degrees Fahrenheit. Once we've hit that, then I'm going to put on my pieces of cherry wood, and then you'll just slowly let it all just burn away and simmer and get that nice aromatic cherry smoke taste coming through. So we're going to close up the lid right over here, and then we're going to get it to 275. Once we reach temperature, then we'll go ahead and put on our ribs as well as our blocks of wood, and then we're just going to let it cook and smoke away for about 2 to 2.5 hours. And then we're going to wrap them for another 2.5 hours, and then we're going to try and reach an internal temperature of 203, 205. So yeah, stay tuned. Alrighty, we reached a temperature of 280 Fahrenheit, so I'm pretty happy with that. It may fluctuate a couple of degrees every now and again, but just turn the dials on your lid for airflow and heat control. So as you can see, I've put my cherry blocks on there and there. We put our rib directly in the center, and now we can go ahead and put on our lid. And as I said, it was sitting at about 280, so we want to keep it about between 275 280. And then what I like to do is every half an hour or so, I just like to turn the lid just so the smoke can dissipate evenly all around your piece of meat. As I said, we're going to cook this for about 2.5 hours. And then we're going to wrap it, and then we cook it for another 2.5 hours, and presto. So yeah, don't forget also to give it a little spritz every now and again with apple juice and some water. And yeah, or some folks like to use apple cider vinegar and water, but you know, personal preference. So yeah, we'll come back and check on this in about 2 hours or so.